Claro, así debe de ser siempre.
Testing 1, 2. Test, 1, 2.
¿Dónde quieres que me siente yo? ¿Acá? ¿Allá?
Margarita se enojó como por un rato, ¿eh?
No, she
Se
didn't.
enojó mucho rato y luego ya dijo...
¿Sí viste la parte donde trajo a su hija? Donde le dijo que la loca de la casa. Yes.
¿Sabes tu login de Facebook?
I can figure it out, yes. Hold on.
Alguien quería...
Y si no, Tocayo se sabe todos los logins.
Guys, de los que están aquí en Zoom, can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Can you guys go and look for Coach's YouTube?
So...
Can you look for his YouTube? Es una reel que dice...
What's the name of the channel, Coach?
¿Cuál es tu sueño?
¿Cuál es tu sueño?
Si no, te les mando el link. A ver, vete a Facebook. ¿Por qué quieres hacer Facebook Live?
¿Quieres trabajar en Facebook? No, pues you can just share the link to YouTube.
Ah, en Facebook, ¿no?
Ajá.
Yeah, I can do
Oh,
that.
you can just do that right there. Guys, ahorita les voy a poner aquí el link en el Zoom.
Are
Yeah.
you already? Are we already live?
Yeah.
I can see you guys for YouTube.
You can?
You can? Can you share the link? Thank you. ¿Le puedes añadir filtros ahí para que se me quiten un poco de arrugas?
Post it like everywhere, maybe.
Alejandra no tiene arrugas, entonces no ocupa ya casi.
Filtros en
Que
Facebook.
ocupa aquí soy yo.
Aquí no hay filtros en Facebook.
¿Qué estás viendo en YouTube?
No, no tengo tu canal.
En Facebook no hay. Digo, en YouTube no hay filtros.
A ver, Julián, si me puedes mandar el link, ¿no? Del live. Toma, la gente ya nos está viendo.
Ya tienes gente conectada
¿En dónde?
en el YouTube.
¿En YouTube? Ok.
Entonces, los que se están conectados. Spanish.
Okay, guys, can you guys hear me? ¿Me pueden escuchar?
Testing. Can you guys hear everything good? Hace paste en...
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Creo que ahí es.
Zoomers. Ya estamos de regreso aquí en YouTube también, muchachos. Creo que nos escuchan en los dos lados. Pretty sure, sí. Muy bien, así. Audio. Sí. 1, 2, 3.
lo moví para atrás. ¿Lo puedes mover?
Bueno, vale.
El mueble está
Oh.
despegado de la pared.
Oye. Calidad de video está perfecta, dicen en YouTube. ¿Y nos escuchan bien en YouTube también, muchachos?
Tengo a toda la comunidad.
Loud and clear. Y aquí en Zoom nos escuchan también perfecto. Ok.
A ver, ¿me escuchan a mí? Ojalá y sí.
Loud and clear. YouTube and Zoom. En Zoom se escucha perfecto.
It's your show, my friend.
All right. Let's give it up to Mr. Jamil. Making the magic happen always.
Tienen ahí Zoom y you're unmuted on both, so as long as you mute and unmute your microphones, then you can speak fully. Más déjenlo conectado porque
A ver, ¿dónde nos estamos?
Bueno, pues la atención va a ser. Mira, vamos a decirle a este Yamil que se siente ahí para que pretender que estamos hablando con Yamil. Pregúntale si te escuchan.
Ok, ¿me escuchan? ¿Me escuchan? No, ya. Dijeron que sí me escuchan, ¿no?
¿Sí se me ven? ¿Sí se me quitaron las arrugas o no?
en Zoom sí, en Zoom tengo megapíxeles.
El Zoom sí, pero YouTube no me está ayudando.
Nomás los del pantalón.
Ah, bueno, ok. Nada más las arrugas del pantalón.
Ya, si pueden hacer mi bailando porque
Hola.
para people in
Oh,
¿Mande?
yes. Hi,
Para
guys.
people in English only too.
I can see Evelyn and Alfie.
Some guests, ¿no?
I can see guests.
Pues Spanish.
Spanglish. A practicar el inglés y a practicar el español. So we're going to practice a little bit of English and a little bit of Spanish. Keep sending invitations, guys. Entonces, allá tengo que ver, no acá, ¿verdad?
Allá. Allá está todo el show.
Or you might be able to go on TikTok Live and share your screen.
Oh, se me olvidó TikTok Live.
You can just share your screen from the phone on TikTok Live.
Thank you, Yamil.
En TikTok Live dices que puedo.
Te vas a live y le das share screen y nada más enseñas la pantalla de YouTube.
Ok.
Los que están aquí en YouTube empiecen a darle likes y a compartir también el enlace
¿Cuánta gente tenemos
para que la gente se vaya conectando.
en Zoom?
¿Cuánta gente tenemos en Zoom?
We have on Zoom, we have like 20 something, 30 people, plus another few more on YouTube.
Okay, guys, we're about to get started. We're wrapping up the year in a few hours, and we're really excited. Thank you for taking the time on New Year's Eve to join us and to hear from this amazing message that we have prepared for you guys today.
Yes, indeed.
We'll be ready in 1 more minute. So keep sending invitation, grab a pen and paper, and take notes. Enjoy this moment. Unplug from everything else. Whatever you're doing, try to absorb, as much as you can because we have something prepared for you. We hope, that this is going to be of a lot of value for you guys. And we're just getting everything ready.
Okay.
Bienvenido, Alonso.
Bienvenida, Alejandra.
Gracias.
Ok. Pues entonces acá, pues aquí en la cámara tenemos a todo el mundo, ¿no? Ya. So everybody can hear me from this mic? You guys can, right?
Sí.
All right, good. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Va a ser un poquito de, ¿cómo se llama? It's gonna be a little bit of bilingual, no?
English and Spanish.
Okay, guys. So you want to go ahead and get started?
Okay. No,
Well,
pues,
first of all, I want to give it up to my wife. She was the one that came up with the idea of doing a call. Um, she said, "You know what? Why don't we do something together? We usually do something together every year.
Yeah.
Either we talk about the reason for Christmas. That it's just not simply a holiday. It's more than a holiday. It's so we usually do that live together. This time we didn't do it, but at least we get to do this one, no? Where we get to talk a little bit about what's in our minds. Just share with you guys. A lot of people sometimes they ask, like what's the purpose? Why do you do it? I guess because first of all we can, okay, and second because we want to contribute in any way. We understand that there's a lot of people that are in our organization, in our company. There's a lot of people that are not, but it doesn't really matter. If we can contribute to the betterness of humanity in a way, I mean, it's not that we're like all this. We don't want to pretend like
Mother
we're
Teresa.
yeah, exactly. But when you get to certain points when you get to certain point in your life where God has blessed you, and continues to bless you, I think that sometimes you do feel the obligation to give back, to do something, out of your heart. So this actually, fills our heart, believe it or not. The fact that we can contribute a little bit, even if somebody gets one thing, or even if it's only one person that benefits from this, I guess we get to walk away with satisfaction, and that's it. So Alejandra came up with the idea of just sharing a couple of things. She actually shared this a video from YouTube, and I was actually watching this video, and oh my goodness, okay, this video, all it talked about was how to set goals, why most people don't accomplish goals. And by the way, in society right now, this is kind of like the season where everybody's talking about their goals, where they're heading with this, what they want to do with their life, their resolutions. And the reason why we also want to do this is so that we can kind of give you guys a couple of things that have helped us, that continues to help us, and some of the things that we're actually going to be implementing as well too this year. And by the end of next year, we'll see how that how that went. But I'll go ahead and pass it on, pass the baton to my wife, since she was the one that came up with the idea of doing this. So mamacita,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much, for joining us today. Like I was saying before, and the reason why we're doing it, like he said, is because we can. And another reason why we decided to do it specifically today, it's because most people are home. Most people are not doing almost anything, or just planning for tonight or something. And people ask me, what are you guys going to do today? We're not going to do anything today. If you can tell, or if you probably don't know, we're here at the office today. Today is New Year's Eve. We're here at the office. A lot of people, are working. We're sending documents. This today is a great day to reach out to clients because they are really available. They are happy and they are cheerful. They're willing to take the calls. So we took advantage, of that. Of course, we're gonna wrap up this call and then we're gonna head home and we're gonna be with our families. It's not that we're neglecting, our children or anybody. We're gonna get, some nice dinner or something. But the reason why we're doing it is because we can, and because people need to hear this message. A lot of people are looking forward to 2026, and the reason why sometimes a lot of things didn't happen during 2025 is because we don't make the changes that we need to do. So we really want to help you guys so we can all have a better, 2026. And what Alonso was saying is that we've been blessed, big time with everything that we have, with the team that we have, with the family that we have. But it didn't happen just because, boom, the blessing, arrived from the heavens. It happened because we've been putting the work. We've been making the changes. We are shifting, our mindset. We are letting go of old, ways of thinking, like all of those things, all of the good things and the blessings that many people see in our lives, like the good life, the cars and the houses and the trips and all of that. It didn't just happen because we manifested and we put it on a wall, and we put a picture, and we said, oh, I want this car and I want this life, and no, it just didn't happen because of that. And we're going to teach you guys today how is it that we're going to be that we're making those things happen, and how you're going to be able to do that for yourselves, for your family, for your children, for whatever it is that you're doing this. So we're gonna give you some golden nuggets today, so you guys can have pen and paper ready, and let's get this call started. I wanted to start, with something that it helps me a lot. So let me just say this real quick, and I want you to do this for yourself. Like, stop thinking about everybody else. Stop thinking, about all of the things that you have, pending. And I want you guys to forgive yourselves for the things that didn't happen, for the things that you did not accomplish in 2025. It all starts with that. If we don't let go, we're not going to be able to make room for the new things, for the new thoughts, for the new dreams, for the new plans, for the new projects. So I want you to make peace with everything, because 2025, whether we like it or not, it's over, guys. It's over. Tonight, that's it. It already ended pretty much. So we need to be able to just let go. I didn't hit that mark. I didn't cross this. I didn't do that. I didn't buy that. I didn't move here. I didn't change my zip code. I didn't change my card. I didn't get out of debt. This is the call. This is the call, that you need to hear. If you didn't accomplish those things, let go, forgive yourself, and today we start fresh. Do you all agree with that? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So first of all, let's do that, okay? Forgive yourselves and let's move forward so we can continue, with this amazing program. And go ahead, you can take over.
No, you wanted to ask a few questions, no?
Oh, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you a few questions, and maybe you guys, if you are with somebody, you can ask yourselves, or somebody else this question, like about Christmas, because we just had Christmas, and we stayed home. We didn't travel this Christmas, and I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite part about Christmas, of this Christmas?
What was my favorite
Your
part
favorite
of this
part.
Christmas? Well, for me, it's always family. For me, it's always peace. For me, it's always um, the fact that we're healthy. The fact that we're alive. The fact that we're together.
Mhm.
Yeah. We yeah. It's for me, it's family.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the most important thing. God in my life.
Yeah.
That was the best thing.
Yeah, for me, the best part was the Christmas movies. We've been watching Home Alone. If you haven't watched Home Alone, I really encourage you to watch it. It has really good, family messages and principles also. So we watched Home Alone. We've been watching The Grinch, up until this day. We were listening to the Grinch, song on our way here, with me and Chan, our youngest son. And it's the movies and the music. So, what food did you enjoy the most during Christmas? Your food. What did we eat?
Pozole.
Pozole.
Yes.
And tamales.
Pozole and tamales. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was my favorite.
Yeah, I love that too. And I was able to, actually, for the first time, I was able to make the tamales with the tamales lady. The tamales lady is grandma. It's our kids' grandma and their aunt. It's Tia Jessica and Tia Patti and Nana Esther. And this is the first time that they allow me to participate in the tamales, making. And it was amazing. It's not that, because of the tamales, it was the experience of making the tamales with them that was a highlight, of 2025 for me. So now, in a few words, describe 2025 for you. Want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, so in a few words, I'm going to describe 2025. For me, maybe one of you or some of you can relate to this. For me, it was mindset changes. I had a lot of mindset changes of things that I was thinking before. I let go of many of the things that I was thinking. I don't know about you, but we are always judging. We're people that we're constantly pointing. Or you see this and you judge, or you see that mom with the baby crying and then you say something, or you think something. So 2025 for me was the year of no judgment. Like if you see something and if it doesn't bother you, if it doesn't affect you, don't say anything, move on, keep going, with your life, mind your own business. That was the year for me of like letting go, judging people, and catching myself when I'm about to do it. It feels so good not to be judging people, because one day it's gonna be you, and I'm gonna tell you like the PG-13 version of what happened to me that made me realize that I cannot judge. So I was at the park, one day with my youngest boy. He's 2 years old, and there was this girl, and there was, this mom with three girls, and she was leaving, and she was like, let's go, we need to go. And the mom said, okay, I'm leaving. And then one of the girls says, goodbye, stupid mom. Sorry for the words, but she said that. And Alejandra was like, me, I was like, oh my God. In my mind, I was about to judge, that mom, that stupid mom, right? And then not even like 10 seconds later, my 2-year-old boy starts fighting with his older brother, and he starts throwing, like the wood chips from the park, and he tells him a bad word, like loud. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just got like a dose of my own medicine 10 seconds later. And it teach me a lot, and since that day, I really was very aware how quickly we are to judge people. And we are like the I don't know, like the court people, like giving their sentence to everybody. And it feels so good when you're not doing that, when you're minding about your business, and hopefully everybody's minding about their business, and we are all coexisting and living at peace with whatever it is that we're going through. So for me, that was, the thing, like stop judging and protecting my energy. I don't know about you guys, but protecting our energy is everything. We are energy. I believe that we are energy. And scientifically, it says that we are energy. So if you protect your energy from negativity on social media, from the news, from people, from like all of those things that doesn't help, it really helps you go through your day a little lighter than if you are going through your day with those things in your life. So protecting my energy was a big thing this year, with the people that I surround myself with the things that I listen. One of the questions and I've shared this before, that I ask myself is this what I'm about to eat going to help me with the version that I want to become? Is this what I'm about to watch going to help me with the version that I want to become? Is this what I'm about to listen going to help me with the version that I want to become? So I became very aware of that. So it was like my awareness year. So for you, describe your 2025.
Bless chaos. That would probably be my word, bless chaos. Because even though I felt that there was a lot of things going on in my life, with business, with family, um, with finances. At the same time, I realized that I'm still blessed. So I can't label chaos as something bad. For me, I think it was blessed chaos because God always comes through for me. So God always takes care of me and takes care of my family. So but yeah, there was a lot of moving parts this year, with us moving into an office, not finding a place. Yeah, it was there was some chaos, in our life, but but I mean, I have learned to accept the fact that this is going to be my life for the rest of my life. This is going to be this is going to be, guys, what a lot of us are going to go through. Whenever you're wanting to build something really big, whenever you want to make a really big impact, you also need to understand that it comes, that doesn't show up just with the price. it shows up with a lot of sacrifice, and it shows up with a lot of, chaos. And I think I've learned to accept that, even though, nobody likes it, nobody likes the chaos, but, bliss chaos was for me.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to take a moment to appreciate, this man. If he is your coach, I know that he mentors many of you guys, and one of the reasons why I keep going, it's not just because I'm extremely like positive or that, but I am positive, but it's because he keeps going. We go through a lot of things. If you're in business, and if you're an entrepreneur, if you have ever, run your own show, it takes a lot, to have staff, to have people on payroll, to have, like the things at the house, the responsibilities that we have. And he's always moving forward. So if I can give you one, good tip is marry well, marry a guy that is willing to fight for you, for your family. And if you have that type of person in your corner, fight for him, be there for him, support him. Stay quiet, whenever you whenever he needs you to stay quiet. And when things get tough, you get tougher, with him. If he burns, the house, you just clean the ashes. So I want to thank you, for that, because you just keep going. And you are like that, like I said the other day, you're like that war, horse, and I am your work horse, because we are like always, going through something, but he's always fighting, for me and for the family. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. What's your biggest lesson this year? Your biggest lesson this year?
My biggest lesson this year is that, let me see. Um, you know, um, my biggest lesson is that I need to simplify my life. Um, that Yes, I need to simplify my life. What I mean by that is that, for example, this year there was a lot of chaos. But see, that this is the thing, guys. Every single time you have a problem, or you have an issue, or things are not going your way, I'm a true believer that God is trying to teach you something. Okay, and lesson not learned, it's lesson that is not learned is lesson that will be repeated. Okay, lesson that is not learned, it will be repeated. So if when I'm going through something, for example, there was a lot of chaos, going on this year. But the way I interpret that is that, Alonso, you need to get better at simplifying so many different things. um, and if I don't go through those things, then I just don't learn. Everybody wants to build an empire, and we want to build an empire, and we will build an empire. Okay, because we're willing, because we show up, because we put in the time, because we work. And I know that that's exactly where we're heading. um, but a lot of people don't understand that all the problems and all the chaos you're going through, it's one of the ingredients for that. So for me this year is that I need to simplify it, I need to organize, I need to be better organized. um, One of the things that I also learned is that putting things off, or procrastinating on things, like, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next year." There was something that just happened to me just about a week or 2 weeks ago. At the beginning of last year, I said, "Okay, so this year, this is exactly this is what I'm gonna do when it comes to this." And I'm like, "Oh my God." We got to the end of the year, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And that was a big reflection for me, because I'm like, like, you get so frustrated. And I said, I am not going to repeat this year. I'm not going to repeat the mistake this year. So for me, it's like simplifying and not putting things off. Like, handle the thing that you need to handle, work on the thing that you need to work on, fix the thing that needs to get fixed. And just don't avoid, I mean, this is for me, like, it's like, Alonso, like, don't avoid, like, doing the work, doing the thing that needs to get done, whether it's convenient or not. But anyhow.
Yeah, and I'm sure we all can relate, to whatever through, because we all went through, like we all went through whatever you went through, like you didn't accomplish this or you didn't fix this for you, and you got the lesson again. And sometimes we're
Yeah.
repeating lessons after lessons after lessons, and that's when life becomes very dreadful, very tiring,
Yeah.
when we keep on repeating the lessons. And that's, why this call is for, so we can stop, repeating, and we forgive ourselves, for not accomplishing that, and we keep on moving forward. For me was a really hard experience, because I've been wanting like the new Escalade. I had the Escalade, but I've been wanting the new Escalade, and I got it. He got it for me. He got the new Escalade for me, and I was really happy for like a few days, less than a week, because then I had a surgery right after. Like probably 3 days later or 4 days later after I got the car, I had to have a surgery, and the surgery didn't go well for me. And I realized how important is your health. It doesn't really matter the car that is parked outside of your garage. It doesn't really matter how much you have, or the jewelry or the bags or the shoes or whatever. I wasn't able to wear anything. I wasn't able to drive anything. I wasn't able to eat anything. I wasn't able to get out of, of my bed, to even lift my head, of the bed. And I felt like I was literally dying. And I realized how important it is, that we take care of our health, and that it's not just important for me, for you as a person, but it's also important for the people around you. I remember my kids, around my bed, telling me, "Are you really gonna be okay? Is this gonna pass?" And it's so hard to say yes when you're feeling like in a lot of pain, and just like suffering, and with medication that keeps your brain like not functioning well. So I realized, that even though, yes, we know money doesn't buy happiness, I want money because it fixes, most of my problems. But when it comes to health, it's a very thin line, because it can also help you. Money can also help you have a better health, better services, better insurance, better treatments, better medicine, better doctors. So I saw the blessing, in two ways. Like, I thank God because we had the resources and the finances and the time to be sick or to be unwell. But I also realized that if I go to heaven right now, I'm not taking the car, I'm not taking the purses or like the bags or the shoes or the watches or anything. I'm just taking nothing. You're taking nothing. You're taking your soul, and you're leaving everything for the rest. So it's appreciating both sides of the coin. Like the financial part. Of having a lot of things, and the opportunity to do a lot of things with what I have, but also my health. And our health is so important, not just for me, but for the people around us, because an unhealthy person is not just miserable as a person. It makes everybody else that it's around that person miserable too. So that was like the biggest lesson, for me. And if you could pick a word or two for 2026, what would it be? Or, what words would you pick?
If I could pick a word for 2026,
or two. Uh-huh.
Pivot,
Pivot.
pivot.
Okay.
We will pivot on 2026.
Okay. For me, it's going to be peace and patience. I just want peace and patience, for 2026. And it's funny because sometimes we ask God, God, I just want to be at peace. What is God going to send you? He's going to send you challenges so you can be at peace. And if you guys don't know, like literally, so you can practice your peace. A few minutes, 5 minutes before joining this call, I was sitting right there waiting for Jamila and Alonso to figure, this Zoom thing out. And I was like, I'm asking for peace. How am I gonna work, my peace muscle if I'm not exercising it, right? So God said, I'm gonna send you a bunch of challenges so you can exercise your peace. So right now I'm thinking, is that really, what I want to ask God? Because He will send me a bunch of things so I can exercise my peace and my patience muscle. I'm not sure you guys should do this. It's fun because you do go through your year um, uh, thinking about this word, and your words become you. So I am becoming a peaceful person and a patient person. That's what I want to be, peaceful and patient. So that's the word, that I pick. I encourage you guys to make, this exercise. the picking your word, for 2026. And I think that's it, for my notes for the questions. So we can get
Yeah, you had
into.
another question. It
I had
was
another question.
when God, if you saw that God manifested in
Oh, where did you see
2025
God manifested in your life in 2025?
every day.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was every day, literally.
Yes. For me, again, I think it was my surgery, that I saw him really manifest, because I don't know, we're not preaching or anything, but we're never hiding, our faith. And I asked God, and I promised God two things, when I was in bed, when I couldn't wake up, and he delivered the following day when I made this deal with God. It's like you can make deals with God. He's listening, he's paying attention, but you really need to give it all, to him. And I remember that day I felt him. I felt, how he was healing me. And now I need to fulfill my promises, that I made to him, in order for my health to be back. So for me, was my surgery. My surgery was like that moment. I think we all have like that moment in life when you're, I don't want to go through this again, and you make your life based on those things that happened to you. Hopefully, it's lesson learned. That was a lesson learned for me. So that's, where I saw God manifest in your life. Where did you guys see God manifest in your life in 2025? Start, writing things down, or put it on the chat and share, with us. But let's continue. What else do we have?
Well, so now that we kind of a little bit of break the ice with what happened this past 2025. Now I do have some stuff that I want to share about what could we do on 2026 to make 2026 better. Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate those of you guys that are here listening. Okay. Because it takes intention. It takes intention to have a better year. I don't think a better year just happens by accident. I think a better year you're going to have to be very intentional about, and it means that you're going to have to go out of your way to do things. You're going to have to devote certain time to do certain things so that your life can actually get better. One example I can give you, she shared this video with me about this lady, Margarita Pasos. Phenomenal freaking video. It was so great. I was actually thinking of doing that on a Saturday training for everybody that shows up, so that we can play it, pause, take notes, discuss, play it again, pause, take notes. It was incredible. But this video was about almost 2 hours, and I watched the whole thing. A big part of it was in front of it with a notepad, me taking notes. See, the question is this, guys. You want to better whatever you want to better, your finances, your relationships, your health. How many times do you go out of your way where you sit your butt down and you go like, all right, I need to learn something here. I need to make some notes. I need to do some research. I need to do some studying. I need to do some reading about how do I better this area of my life. Until you do that, it's really hard for your life to change if you don't actually like make the time to do those things. So I actually, got some notes that I wanted to share, but I know that, you also have some notes that
You go first,
that you
and
want
then
to share.
I'll tag along.
Okay, so guys, let me go ahead and, get started with my notes. And, they're not as organized as I wish, they were. But so I'm going to be like maybe a little bit, back and forth on this. But see, this is the thing. Okay, let me start with this. Right now, you're probably going to understand it more than ever because it's the end of the year and it's the beginning of the year. Okay. And everybody's talking about one thing. If I mean, I don't know if people still use hashtags. Okay. But if there was a hashtag out there that is going to be very prominent right now all over social media, it's going to be, I think you need to fix the camera. There you go. The angle. Yeah, there you go. The one hashtag that is going to be very prominent right now, it's going to be goals. Metas, okay? Like, what are going to be your goals? What are going to be your resolutions?
Your
Like,
vision
I mean,
board.
I could already see everybody. Oh, this year I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to do this. I'm going to look good. I'm going to get ready for the summer. You know, some of us are actually traveling to Miami in the next couple of months. Oh, I'm going to be ready for Miami. Hopefully, those of you guys that are going to Miami, you guys are thinking about like, hey, you know, I'm gonna look good, you know, when I show up to Miami, right? But anyhow, so everybody's talking about goals, and this is one of the things that I got from this video. Okay, Margarita Pasos dijo lo siguiente: el que no tiene metas ya llegó. If you don't have goals, you have already arrived. Okay, so listen, guys. The reason why having goals, and look, this is common sense, and this is probably not something new, you know, for you guys, but having a goal, okay, it gives direction for your life. It gives purpose to your life, okay? But there's actually science behind the goals, okay? There's actually science behind the goals. You know, there is a correct way to set up goals, believe it or not, okay? I'll give you one, okay? This is one that everybody needs to understand. How many times do you hear people say, well, this year, I am going to get in shape? That's not good enough. This year, I am going to make money. I'm going to make more money. That's not good enough. This year, I am going to lose weight. That's not good enough. Why is it not good enough? See, this is something that, you know, she was saying on her video. She said that you gotta be able to measure your goal, and you gotta be able to give it a date to your goal. See, how many people say, oh, you know, a lot of people say, I'm going to lose weight. Well, how do you make this the right way? How do you fix goals, or how do you set goals the right way? You fix a date, and you fix the number that's going to help you measure the goal. So what does that mean? If you want to make more, you can say, I want to make more money this year. Well, you know, here's $1, here's $1. You already made, no, but I mean, I don't mean $1. Exactly. You don't mean $1. So what exactly do you mean? No, more. How much is more? You know, she was saying that, and look, and we've talked about this before, guys. Your goals, you have to define your goals. If you want to lose weight, how many and by what date? If you say, I want to lose 20 pounds, great. By what date? Okay, well, I mean, I want to lose 20 pounds, you know, by summer. Okay, now you have the ability to measure your goals. Does that make any sense? So that's how she started. You know, you wanted to share something?
Keep going.
Okay, so that's the one thing, guys, that, you know, if you want your 2026 right now to be better, is that I believe that you have to start by defining where are you heading. Okay, what your goal is going to be. Define clearly what the goal is. Give it a date to it, because I was listening to her, and I'm like, okay, so our goal is to make 6 figures on a monthly basis, right? And I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking about 6 figures. And as a matter of fact, if I show you my agenda, when I show up at the office, I started writing things down as if I already have them. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that, you know, I'm writing down, you know, I make $120,000 of income every month. You know, I like so many I haves or so many I ams, right? But the problem is that, you know, we have to also define the date. You know, I make this much, you know, by this month. Does that make any sense? So that, you know, so that you know if you are on track or you're behind. Mm-hmm. Because it's important that you understand if you're on track of you're behind. Because what happens, guys, is that a lot of people, you know, they set goals, but a lot of them, they die with their goals. You know, a lot of people die not accomplishing much. And the reason why is because they never really, you know, set themselves, you know, the dates. You know, they never really had the urgency. You know, and it's important that people have that.
Yeah, and she also mentioned something, you know, the lights. So she also mentioned something, you know, that goes along with this, because I think we're both, you know, on the same page right now, as far as like what he's sharing with you guys, is that wanting is not a strategy, you know, doing is a strategy. Because es como en español se dice, querer no es estrategia, hacer es estrategia, esa es la estrategia, hacer las cosas. So we all want things, you know, we all want something. I don't know what is it that you guys want. We all want things. But if we don't do, nothing happens, and it's common sense. But the problem is that sometimes we are not using our common sense anymore, and you're probably going to see a lot of vision boards right now, and how to create your perfect, vision board, and your tu mapa de sueños, and like all of those things. um, I heard this. I don't know if it was from Margarita or someone else, but it says the universe doesn't respond to your pictures. It responds to your energy. When it comes to those vision boards, because I have my vision board, Alonso has, his vision boards. Is what are those images making me feel? Do I really believe, and do I really feel something when I look at the body, that I posted of that girl, super fit, shredded, and with the legs, all, yeah, like tone, and the abs, like that? Do I feel like that? How does that make me feel? How am I going to feel whenever I accomplish that? How am I gonna feel whenever I'm driving that car? How's that gonna smell? The leather, gonna be the color? How am I gonna feel when I get out of my car and I see the step, going down, and like the doors opening, and the air, and el quemacocos, how do you, ¿cómo se llama?
Sunroof.
The sunroof, and like, how is that going to make you feel? Again, the universe does not respond to your pictures. It responds to the energy. So we need to put our energy. We need to see ourselves, riding that car,
Yes.
living in that house, going to that trip. You need to see yourself packing those luggages, tus maletas, empacando las maletas, yendo al aeropuerto, subiéndote, viendo las letras de el vuelo para, no sé, Dubái, o el vuelo para España. Yo me muero de ganas de ir a España. Queremos ir a España. And I can see, like Spain, leaving at 9:56 a.m. and departing at, like all of those things. You need to be able to see yourself. It's fun, make it fun, guys. Make it fun. Have fun again, in life. So just remember that the universe doesn't respond to your pictures. It responds to your energy. So whatever you're putting on your dream board for this year, make sure that you're feeling whatever it is that's going to make you feel. Okay. So what else are you going to
Yeah.
share?
So going along to what she's saying, guys, there is something that some of the notes that I got, that it also says that you don't get in life really what you want. You get in life what you practice. You could have a great body all day long, but if you're not practicing what's going to get you the great body, then you're never really going to have it. Now, another thing is, I don't know if I should dive into this, but let me just cover this. Margarita Pasos, she mentioned something on this video. She said that success, guys, is not neutral. Okay, success is not neutral. Okay, and in other words, guys, what we have listened in the past is that in life, there's no stagnation. In life, you are either growing or you are dying. Okay, there's no stagnation. And Margarita, said it differently. She said, success, there's no neutral in success. You are either, listen to this, guys, you are either doing something that is getting you closer to your goal, or putting you away from your goal. And every single decision, guys, that you make, this is what she said, you have to ask yourself, is this putting me closer towards my goal, or is this putting me farther away from my goal? Okay. And this is something to consider, right? Because again, we make a lot of correlation to goals to like fitness, because sometimes it's easy to understand, right? It's like, for example, I showed up today and there was some Mexican bread, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so good, right? But at the same time, all day long, or not all day long, but often enough, I'm always thinking, I'm gonna get to a 10% body fat. I'm gonna be shredded. I'm gonna see my six pack the way one of my sons has it. And but again, if I grab that piece of bread, is that gonna put me closer towards my goal, or is that gonna put me farther away from my goal? Okay. So when you analyze, and by the way, this takes a lot of you got to be very conscious about this, and it takes a lot of discipline, and that is the hard part. The hard part is like, not doing it. um, Margarita was saying that the temptation only lasts about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. She said the temptation only lasts about 3 seconds. She says, how do you know when you're a champion? She said, you're a champion when at the dinner, when you're at a dinner and everybody's done with their dinner, and then the waiter says, anybody dessert. She said it takes 3 seconds, to really beat the temptation. Because when the waiter says, anybody dessert, like you want to say, yes, I want the dessert, right? But then in 3 seconds, if you can master those 3 seconds, you might go like, no, not for me. And she says, 15 seconds later, you have dominated the temptation.
Yeah.
You have dominated the temptation. So, guys, same thing happens, guys, when you when it comes to bettering yourself. It's so easy to, like, turn on the TV. It's so easy to um, um, to get to fall into the temptation of doing those things that are just simply putting us farther away from our goals instead of closer from our goals, closer to our goals. So beat the temptation, guys, in about 3 seconds, because when you really think about it, yeah, those 3 seconds, guys, when you're about to say yes or no, really make all the difference. And if you get to a point in your life where you're mastering those 3 seconds of temptation all the time on whatever you're doing, by the way, this could be food, this could be social media, this could be TV, this could be, I don't know, like, you know that, temptation is, all over us,
Addictions.
Yes, addictions, like all kinds. So anyhow, just remember, guys, that every single little thing that you do either puts you, closer or farther away from your goal.
Yeah. And if I can say something about, what he's saying is that just remember something, guys. We were not like that before, before we started eating, like if there's no tomorrow, we were not like that before. Or before we didn't have social media. There was no binge doing social media like all day long. We did not have those things. So it does that means that we were not created like that. And if we were not created like that, we can change those patterns, because those patterns became a habit. It's something that we just started to do consistently, like eating the donut and then eating the bread and then eating the chocolate and eating the cereal. Like, yeah, we're talking about health, in that specific area, because we just start stacking losses, stacking the defeating ourselves, like betraying. The word is betraying ourselves. We started to betray ourselves like so much, and we just let go and let go and let go, and it just becomes a habit of betrayals, to yourself. And when you betray yourself so much, you start not trusting yourself and not believing in yourself. You lose confidence in yourself, and it's so easy to just like, well, I'm already like this, I'm already overweight, or I'm already unhealthy, or like, is like, why should I go back? And it's so hard sometimes to go back. But if you start stacking wins every single day, it triggers in your mind, in your brain, something placentero, like pleasure. When you start winning and your brain starts identifying pleasure with, oh, I didn't eat that, I didn't touch that, I didn't eat the cereal, I didn't eat the bar, I didn't put all of that sugar, I didn't get the Starbucks, like all of those things, you start stacking your wins. The same thing with your finances. If you go to the store and you know that you don't need that thing for your kitchen or for your bathroom, or a new blouse or shoes or whatever, if you stop yourself and you don't do it and you leave the store and then you realize, oh my god, I didn't do it, you start stacking and then make it a habit again. So we either are stacking losses or stacking wins. And como le hicimos para agarrar los malos hábitos, también le podemos hacer para agarrar los buenos hábitos. So we can just shift, that mindset. It's not that hard. It's just like one day at a time, como dicen en Alcohólicos Anónimos, creo que es, ¿no? Es like Alcohólicos Anónimos te dicen un día a la vez. Like, it's literally, guys, one day at a time. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen in a week and next month or next year. We don't even know we're going to be here. But today we're here. Today I can make the decision of not putting sugar in my coffee. Today I can make the decision of going to Target and not shopping, except for whatever I need to shop. Today I can make the decision to make those calls that I know that are going to help me, big time. So start stacking your wins, instead of stacking your losses. Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Let me give you another one. Okay. One of the things that Margarita was talking about is that every person out there has their normal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Everybody out there has their normal. And what she said is that, first of all, you need to identify what has become the normal for you. And also, what we need to do this year, guys, is that you need to identify what do you want your new normal to be. This is the example that she gave. She said that, what if you have thought about, flying private? Flying private means that you fly on a private plane. For you, if you do it, or the time that you do it, for example, we have not, fly private yet, right? So the moment that we do it, that is not normal for us.
Just the helicopter.
Okay, just helicopters, right? But not planes, right? So, but we have not done it. Okay, and so therefore that is not normal for us. But then she said this: ask yourself this question: do you believe that there's people out there that for them is the norm, is normal? It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So there's people out there that flying private. And as a matter of fact, guys, one of the things I love about our office is that we are literally maybe 5 minutes away, 4 minutes away from an airport. And this airport right here, you see a lot of private planes, a lot of private jets. Okay,
because it was meant for that, guys. Like that airport, it was meant for that.
Yes,
for private,
exactly,
clients.
Yeah, so there's a lot of a lot of communities that are super ultra wealthy around our office, that are not too far away. For example, there's this city called Rancho Santa Fe. Bill Gates' daughter, this is where she lives because she practiced
Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez, he also has a house here in Rancho Santa Fe. So, and it's right here. So a lot of them, they land their planes right here. Yeah. So from my office and from our office, we actually get to see the planes land and everything, right? So anyhow, I love, this is one of the things I love about this location, because you also get to see the private planes. And whenever I'm about to go to my car or go to the parking lot and I see one of those planes, I'm like, I'm going to be flying one of those. Yeah. I'm going to be in one of those. But anyhow, let me go back to the original point here. What she's saying is that you need to understand that all of you guys have a normal, something that is just normal for you. And this is the example she gave. There's a lot of people in the world today that living in very harsh conditions, living in very poor conditions in the world has become normal for them. But for example, for you, living in harsh conditions, for example, like not even having a decent roof over your house, like having a leaky roof. Like, I mean, just think about this, guys, okay? You understand that there's people out there in the world that having a leaky roof when it rains is just normal for them. They just have to kind of maneuver around it. For you, having a leaky roof when it rains, you immediately fix it. Why? Because it's not normal for you to live in a house that has a leaky roof. So therefore, you immediately fix it. You immediately take care of it, and you go back to your normal. What is going back to your normal means like, yeah, this is normal for me. Okay. With that said, what Margarita was saying is that you need to define, your new normal. What is that thing that you want it to be your new normal? So again, there's people that living paycheck to paycheck has become the norm. There's a lot of things, guys, that when I was listening to this audio, a lot of things that came to mind was that there's a lot of things that have become normal for me that I don't quite like. Okay. That I don't quite like. That, yes, I am making all of this money, but I have all of these responsibilities. So, money comes in and then money leaves, and then money comes in and then money leaves, right? And I'm like, that has become a normal for me. Okay. And I'm like, I need to change that normal.
Me vas a cambiar.
Okay. No. So I said, my new normal needs to be that I'm making this massive income. I'm keeping so much cash. I'm still handling my responsibilities, but I'm stacking cash every single month in big amounts, right? So I need to define and I need to create a new normal for me. So guys, this is the one exercise that she did on this video, which I really encourage everybody to watch this video. She did some sort of a hypnosis, experiment, or not experiment, exercise, okay, where she says that start defining who is that new normal person that you want to be. For example, if you want to be a successful businessman, a successful businesswoman that makes 5 million or makes $1 million a year, keeps about $500,000 of it, or like things like that. Like define it. Like, this is who I am. I am this person. Like, and the moment you define this, there is one exercise that she's asking you to do, which I'm not gonna get into it. But the one thing I want you guys to take from this is that you need to understand that, okay, I do need to mention this. She says, your brain, guys, your brain, it's gonna, if you don't make changes up here, okay, and I need to get into a little bit of science here, but I'm not gonna have time for this, but just bear with me, okay? Let me see if I can articulate this. Your brain, it's conditioned to make you do certain things that has become your normal, okay? Whenever your brain sees something that is not normal in your life, your brain is going to figure out a way on getting you back to normal. Hear me out. If living paycheck to paycheck is normal for you, if barely having enough money to pay your bills has become a normal for you, watch this. She is saying that what happens with people when they start to make money more than normal, the brain goes like, wait, like, this is not normal. Like, wait, like, check this out. And this is what she says. She says, this is when you see people that they've never made big money. They've never had like, like spike, or maybe not too often they have spikes in income. But when they have those big spikes in income, what do? They take a break. They slow down.
You sabotage.
You sabotage yourself. Why? Because your brain realizes like, hey, this is not normal. So, hey, let's go back to normal. Chill out. Chill out.
Spend it.
Let's go to the movies. Let's spend some money. Let's go shopping. Let's go take a trip. Like, you got a little too much money in your bank account. Like, we need to reduce that amount to like a bare minimum, like you're used to. I'm not kidding. Okay. And you start to sabotage yourself because that has become, because you have not changed, the program up here. Okay. So what you do is that you sabotage yourself, and because you brainwash yourself to say, oh, I deserve it. I work hard. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to leave early. I'm going to show up late. I'm going to wake up late. I'm going to watch TV later. And then guess what? Your situation starts to go back to normal again, where you're barely making it again. You're living paycheck to paycheck, and you never really get out of that situation until there's a definite change. Okay. Which in her video, she actually talks about like, what could you do? Okay. There's something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, which I encourage you guys that, you write this down. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Okay. Disonancia cognitiva. Okay. Disonancia cognitiva. This is science, guys. Okay. Yeah. This part right here will help you. One, define first of all what your new normal is that you want it to be, and how can you actually make it permanent so your behavior and your actions go according to this new person that you want to become. I don't know if it makes any sense. Okay, if it doesn't make any sense and you got 10% of it, then well, be happy with the 10%. But
Yeah.
I need you guys to dive a little more into this. Okay. So anyhow.
Yeah. So how are we gonna make sure that this is not just gonna be another talk, another live, or another advice that we get? We have to learn to make pauses, guys. We have to learn to make small pauses. Hacer pequeñas pausas. No parar, no parar, no se puede parar. Yo siempre le he dicho a las personas um, que tenemos aquí en la oficina, los agentes, hay gente que me pregunta, pero si ustedes ya están ganando tanto, if you guys are making so much money, why are you guys still working this way or whatever? First of all, because we have big dreams. And second of all, because when you reach a certain level of success, that success comes with a lot of responsibility. And we have a lot of people trusting, and believing in what we are doing. And we cannot just like go, and travel and disappear and let, these people
Not
hanging
yet.
here. Not yet, not
Yeah.
yet. It will come a time when we're going to be replaced by different mentors and different coaches, and we're going to become very duplicatable and not indispensables, but not right now. And we're happy. We're young. We're still, full of energy. We have a lot of people, counting on us, and that's why we're doing it. So we cannot just like not do things, but we can take moments, and pause to think, to reflect on this, stuff. And we're about to give you guys some homework, so you guys can take home with you. And that's why we need you guys to write this, things down. And I'm gonna continue, what he's covering. And I want you to ask yourself this question. And here's where I need you guys to write down: what have we been feeling and thinking the most lately? What have you been feeling and thinking the most lately? Think about it. ¿Qué es lo que he estado pensando y sintiendo demasiado últimamente? Anota eso y escríbelo. Sácalo de tu mente, sácalo de tu pecho, sácalo de tu corazón. Get it out of your brain, get it out of your heart, get it out of your thoughts, and put it on paper. What am I feeling lately? Am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling joyful? Am I feeling, I don't know, depression? Am I feeling regrets? Am I feeling guilt? Am I feeling hopeful? Am I feeling inspired? Am I feeling motivated? Start writing, how you're feeling, and then are these feelings, the next question is going to be, are these feelings and thoughts helping me or not? Because life is as simple as that, guys. Is this helping me or not? It's very, very plain and simple. Are these thoughts helping me, yes or not? And you're gonna make two columns, like the helping me, yes, helping me, not, and put, the feelings that are not helping you in this on this side, the feelings, that are helping you on this side. And I want you guys to focus, because you have the ability to do that. I want you to believe that you do have the ability to focus on the things that you want, because who said I heard this, the word miedo, in Espanol it's just like five words. In English is just four. 5 words or 4 words are not gonna letters, I'm sorry, letters, not words. 4 words or 5 words no te matan. They're not gonna kill you. It's just a word, and you are able to shift, your mind from fear to hopeful, from safe, from stability, from like motivation, inspired. Like, you are able to do that if you really fight for it. You just have to make yourself aware and conscious enough, for that change to happen. So I want you to ask, those things to you. What have we been feeling and thinking most, lately? And are these feelings and thoughts helping me or not? Your life can literally change from you writing these things down, and forcing yourself. Guys, we need to force ourselves, just like you went down, on that rabbit hole of negativity, depression, pessimism. It's not that you are like that. You're just feeling like that. And feelings are not like tangible. You can change them. Obviously, you need to do some work. You need to do whatever. If your spiritual life is cracking, then go in and fix your spiritual life. Start reading your Bible. Start, praying every single day. Read a devotional. Go to church. Like, whatever is that you're feeling empty there. Start fixing it. If your marriage, is crashing, then grab some books. Go to marriage counseling. Start like fixing those cracks that you have in your life, and things will start aligning. So, and I want you to write also this, because I want you to live 2026 with the word poder. It cannot be translated in English the same way because it's son unas siglas en español. So write the word poder.
Poder.
Poder. Poder. Poder. And it almost translates the same in English except for one word, okay? So the P is for purpose, propósito. La P es de propósito, purpose. The O is for order, orden interno. Okay, la O stands for order, internal order. Okay, orden interno. ¿A quién no le gustaría sentir orden interno? Acabar con ese caos mental, con ese caos que traemos todo el tiempo de no saber qué es lo que queremos, no saber por qué estoy haciendo esto, todo ese tipo de cosas. Quiero que este año para mí, ese es un consejo que voy a hacer para mí y espero que les sirva a ustedes. Entonces, quiero vivir un año con propósito, with purpose. I want to live a year with purpose. The second one is the O, order, internal order. The number 3 is decision. We got to make decisions. We got to make decisions. It all starts with that. It does not start with motivation, It does not start with motivation. And I always tell everybody here, motivation is your enemy. Motivation is your biggest enemy, guys. Like, think about it. If you do something based on motivation, you won't get too far. If I wanted to feed my children in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. out of motivation, I'm not going to feed that baby. I'm not just going to wake up and feed the baby out of motivation. It's commitment. It's a decision that I make to wake up and feed the baby because he's crying, okay? So the D stands for decisión. La E es por estrategia. Tenemos que tener estrategias para las cosas que estamos haciendo. Tenemos que tener un plan. ¿Cuál va a ser el plan? ¿Cuál va a ser el sistema? ¿Qué es lo que voy a utilizar? Y nosotros aquí en el negocio tenemos estrategias y tenemos planes. Entonces, esa parte de ahí, por lo menos no me siento perdida por la parte de la estrategia, porque ya tengo la plataforma que necesito y las personas que trabajan en la organización, whoever works, with us, BBS, and everybody here, in the team, we have a strategy. We don't need to figure out another strategy. And that's what I love about, my life right now, that I really don't need to figure out something else to do or what am I going to do. I don't need to figure out the what am I going to do. I just need to work the strategy, and the strategy will work for me and it will work for you too. And the third one is the R stands for results, resultados. Entonces, propósito, orden interno, decisión, estrategia y resultados. ¿A poco no les encantaría vivir una vida así, llena de poder, de propósito, llena de orden interno, llena de decisiones, con decisiones claras que tú puedas tomar, con estrategias sencillas, con estrategias fijas y con resultados? Porque al final del día no comemos decisiones ni estrategias. Al final del día comemos con resultados, pagamos las rentas con resultados, pagamos los carros con resultados, pagamos los viajes con resultados, no con estrategias, no con decisiones, pagamos con resultados. Entonces, at the end of the day, guys, results are going to be, what make 2026 or any year, 2027, whatever year it is going to be, with the results that we have. But there are steps, before those results. So, I think we're about to wrap up, this call pretty soon. And I just want to share like the 3 priorities for 2026, The words are going to be poder. P as in Peter, O as in order, D as in
but what the P
decision,
stands for.
E is for strategy, and R for results. So it's purpose, internal order or just order, decision, strategy, and results. Purpose, order, decision, strategy, and results. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do for my year, and that's how I'm gonna conduct my life, not just for 2026, because 2026 it will go by in a flicker, guys. And I want to make permanent changes. What we're setting right now is just for permanent changes, not just for 1 year. And what else do you want to?
Okay, so there is one last thing I want to do with you guys, okay, or that I want to share with you guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, this has to do with the thing I watched with Margarita. Mm-hmm. And she said that, let's do a quick exercise, and we're going to do a quick exercise, okay? Yeah. One of the things that she mentioned is that we are spiritual beings, and I think we all agree that our body it's just our temporary
Vehicle.
exactly, it's a temporary vehicle, right? Yes. So what happened, I'm a believer that, when we die, our spirit goes somewhere else, and this, gets buried or gets burnt, turns into ashes, right? So this is just like the boxing. Our body is just the boxing, right? So one of the exercises that she did is this. She said, okay, I want you guys to close your eyes. Okay, maybe you can do this exercise, on your own, or maybe you can watch the video and then you can do the exercise as she is explaining it. She said, I want you to do this exercise. She said, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine that here you are. Okay, this is the person that you are, like with all the defects that you think you have, all of the bad habits, all of the bad behaviors you have. Like, this is just who you are, the current version of yourself. And when you close your eyes, she said, I want you to imagine that you come out of this temporary body you have and you enter into the optimized version of yourself. Okay? You enter into the optimized version of yourself. Who's this optimized version of yourself? The person that has the life you want, the life you have envisioned, the person that has the habits, the character, the attitude, the energy, the lifestyle, where she lives or where he lives, what he drives, like the type of man, the type of woman, the type of leader, the type of businessman or businesswoman that you are, and like the type of shape that you're in, the type of health that you have. She said, imagine, like, when you close your eyes, like, imagine that, or maybe if you have it in front of you, like, this person, like the spirit lives this old body and enters the optimized version of yourself, where this person wakes up at this time, studies this much, does this, does that, etc. Right? So you have imagined this new version of yourself, this optimized version of yourself, right? Now, and then she says this: I want you to make a list. By the way, she did enter a topic about stoicism. Okay, and I don't know if you guys have dived into stoicism, but it's something that I am fascinated by. I started to read Julius Caesar's memoirs. Okay, he actually didn't quite write a book; he was just writing down his memories. Okay, it's called Memoirs of Julius Caesar, and I started to like dive into stoicism and all of those things, and like dive into it. It's phenomenal. During the era of stoicism with Seneca and Socrates and Julius Caesar and Seneca, yes, there's this concept that is called premeditatio malorum. Premeditatio malorum. Okay, this is an exercise that the Stoics used to use. Okay,
and they're in the Bible, actually. The Bible talks about
the Bible talks about the Stoics. Okay, by the way, so there is this concept called premeditatio malorum. What does that mean? It means predicting bad things, predicting the bad. This is an exercise they used to use. Because when you predict the bad, then guess what? It will never surprise you.
You can prevent.
Well, even if you don't prevent it, but you know how to respond to it. You don't panic. You do not become this emotional person that, it's out of control because you have predicted it. Yeah. Okay? So, then this is the exercise. I want you to think of this newer version of yourself now. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the newer version of yourself, okay?
This is fun, guys.
Yes, all right. So check this out. So I have Jamil right here. I have my wife over here. So I want you to think of the newer version of yourself, okay? You look this way. You feel this way.
You smell this way.
You smell this way. You drive like this. You dress this. This is where you live. This is how your family... You look at your family and you go like, this is what my family thinks of me, okay? So now you are this person, the optimized version of yourself. Now, I want you to make a list of 10 things right now. I want you to make a list of 10 things right now that what would you do? What would this person need to do to destroy himself? What would this person need to do to destroy herself? I want you to give me 10 things. So for example, if you wanted to destroy this person, if you wanted to destroy yourself, and then for the next 30 days, what would you do to destroy this person?
I would wake up late.
There you go. Now we're getting there. See?
I would wake up late.
You would make this person wake up late.
I would eat junk food and feel horrible.
This person would eat junk food.
I would stop listening to my Bible in the morning.
Like you would not read.
Like my Bible specifically.
Yes, you would not read the Bible, meaning that you would not work on your relationship with God. Okay, like you want to destroy this person, guys. Think about this. Okay, the list could go on and on and on and on.
I would watch Netflix all day.
All day. You would not show up to work. You would show up late. You would leave early. You would not be committed. See, guys, I need you guys to start writing down the list. Okay, this is a practice, guys. This was a practice that they used to do in predicting war.
Okay.
What would be the worst thing that could happen? The worst scenario. Okay, this happens. What do we do? Why? Because what they were training the soldiers to do at that time was like, if it does happen,
anticipation.
Exactly, then you do not become reactive or emotional, and you stay stoic.
Yeah.
You stay stoic because you want I mean, I knew that I knew that this could happen. Yeah. See, guys, the same thing happens in business. A lot of people don't predict things. It's like, I don't know if you remember, but we used to talk about this. Like, look, if we set out to do something this massive, all of this is coming. Yeah. Remember that we used to talk about this? I used to tell Alejandra, I said, look, this is gonna happen. It's going to come with this. It's going to come with this. It's going to come with this. So when it happens, please do not be surprised. Please do not be surprised. Yeah. It's just like, for example, soldiers. See, soldiers, they prepare them for war. They prepare them to die. And they prepare them to kill. So when it happens, you're not surprised by it. Yes. A police officer, they prepare you to get shot at. So when it happens to you, you don't go like you knew this was going to happen. Yeah. You knew this was going to happen, right? Yeah. So some of the list was like not sleeping enough, eating bad, waking up late, partying all the time, watching TV, not working, not picking up your phone, not studying, not praying, consuming alcohol, partying all night long. Being every weekend with your friends,
hanging out with the wrong
crowd, like consuming drugs, watching wrong things, like
overspending.
Oh yeah, she did talk about that. Yeah. She says, "Oh, I'm gonna buy gifts for everybody." And then the year starts and you go like, "Oh, I'm up to here in debt. Like I overspent. Like I overdid it.
But I don't
you overate during the holidays." Yeah. It's like, and then check this out. She says, when you make this list of about 10 things, she says, if you can think of more, like, okay, just write 5, but write down the list of these 10 things, and then do the opposite.
Yep.
And then do the opposite. What? Because if you, hear me out, if you wanted to destroy this person, you would make them do all of these things.
Yes.
Okay.
To your worst enemy.
Yes. Yeah. So if it's eating bad, I'm going to eat good. Yeah. And this is what she said. Just to wrap it up now. Dice que hay gente que es inteligente, pero dice que hay gente que es tonta. Okay. She says, and she didn't even want to use the word like dumb, like hay gente inteligente, hay gente tonta. Dijo, tienes que tomar decisiones inteligentes y no decisiones tontas. She said, make smart decisions, not stupid decisions. And that's when she said, at dinner, any dessert? She said, it's the 3-second temptation. It's the 3-second temptation where you go like, No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
At the store.
She
you know,
says,
like with
that's
the
when you're being
client.
smart. That's when you're being smart
Yeah.
because, and that's when she elaborated and she said, success, guys, is not neutral. It's not neutral. You're either growing or you're dying. Every decision you make either puts you closer to your goal and dream or puts you farther away from your goal and dream. So, for example, how many of us want to be in shape? How many of us want to take off our shirt in Miami and feel good about ourselves? Okay, that eyes are on you like, dang, look at that six pack. Okay, so guess what? Once we're done with this transmission, it's like, what are you gonna eat? Will you say yes to dessert or you say, no, thank you, I'm good? And it's a battle, guys. You need to understand it's a battle.
Yeah.
But it's a battle that I believe that one day, it will no longer be a battle. It would just simply be a breeze,
Yeah.
For most of us. Okay,
And
guys?
yeah, and if you wanna like bring down like the word stoic, if you wanna relate it with something more familiar to you guys, it's emotional intelligence.
It is.
And Margarita Paso, she said it's emotional intelligence on steroids.
Yep.
That's what stoicism is.
Yes.
Emotional intelligence on steroids. And we hear emotional intelligence everywhere, and I think that's what society is lacking, and we're lacking sometimes that but thank God we're working here, and we're working on ourselves, and we're part of this session and part of this team where we talk about emotional intelligence constantly, because literally it's what the Bible will call self-control. When you have a sound mind, it's dominating yourself, dominarte a ti mismo. And one of the things that we're gonna do to wrap up is I'm gonna give you guys this quote that I don't know if she's here, but her mom told her these when she was a teenager, Giselle. And it stuck with me like you have no idea, and I really hope that this is gonna stuck with you guys. Her mom gave her the advice when she was a teenager, and she said this: tú eres libre de tus decisiones, pero no eres libre de las consecuencias. You are free of your decisions, but you will not be free of the consequences. That's so powerful, guys, because even though we're gonna have somebody there, supporting us, si fallamos, if we fail or if something happens, somebody's going to be there for us. As parents, we're going to be there for our children, if they fail or if they make a mistake or if they make a wrong decision. Your spouse is going to be there. He's going to be there for me. But in the end, guys, it's personal. It's the ones carrying the consequences of good and bad decisions. It's ourselves. So always have this in mind. I'm free of my decisions, of my actions, but I will not be free of the consequences, positive or negative consequences. Okay, so just remember that. Tattoo that in your mind. Okay, and for me, I wanna end with this about setting your 3 priorities. Life is really about priorities, guys. We move based on our priorities. And if we don't even know what are our priorities, we're just gonna live next year and the year follows the exact same way. So I'm gonna be open, and I'm gonna give you guys my 3 priorities for 2026 that are gonna help me not just for my 2026, but to keep on going on the right path, throughout my life. For me, my main focus right now is going to be healthy and feeling strong, because I'm turning 40 this year and I'm really excited. I don't know why I'm so excited about turning 40 this year, in September. And I've never been this excited about, having a birthday. Turning 40 for me is like a big deal because I don't know if it's something that I fantasized in my mind that my 40s were going to be like the best decade, of my life. And I'm really excited. I'm already saying that I'm 40 because I'm 39. And so being healthy and strong, feeling strong, you know that we're aging and things are going to start, like sonando por aquí, rechinando por allá. I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want my children or my husband to be carrying me, around because I didn't prevent, that. For me, it's being healthy and strong, as far as income, as far as our finances, I want us to have a $300,000 increase this year. That, puts us at certain, goal. For me, it's that, if we at least get a $300,000 increase income this year, that's going to be like a good way for us to finish 2026 and be the best wife for you and the best mom for my children. I really have a goal,
I got some ideas for that.
Oh my God. Ya se acabó aquí la llamada. Be the best wife, for you and be the best mom for my children.
I'll see a couple of videos.
I really wanna see. Oh my God. Ya sáquenlo, por favor. Este es mi programa. I really want to see myself being that wife, and feeling good with the wife that he needs, not that he expects or whatever, that he needs,
Yes.
And I know that will trigger that he becomes the husband, that I'm gonna need, because marriage is a two-way street, guys.
Yes.
Whoever tells you, oh, it's not, it is a two-way street. We both need to make moves, okay? And for my children, they are one of the main reasons, why we do what we do, and understanding that when I am with them, I am creating something. I'm just like we mentor you guys here. My biggest mentorship is at home. Who said that? I think it's Mother Teresa. If you wanna see love or something, or see love in the world, go home and love your family first, okay? So go home and love your family well first, learn to love your family well so you can start loving others outside. Como dicen, candil de la calle, oscuridad de su casa. I don't want to be that, I don't want to be a candil de la calle y oscuridad de mi casa. I want my home to feel like a home, not just a house, I want that place to be a haven for my family. So for me, it's that healthy and strong body, income increase of $300,000 at least, and be the best wife for Alonso and the best mom for my kids. So that's it, for me.
I vouch for that. Okay. Le voy a mandar sugerencias que le gusta que le mande de vez en cuando.
No. No me gusta.
Oh,
No,
pues
sí,
supongo
sí,
que
sí,
sí,
está
pues.
bien. Sí, me encantan tus sugerencias.
All right, guys. So yeah, so I think that's it, guys. Um, yeah. So I think that our message, the one that we gave many years ago, guys, was that fix things at home if things are not right, or just make them right. Figure out a way to make them right, because building a business, it's simple, but it's hard. And building it when things are falling apart at home, it's hard. Or when you got issues in the business and then you got issues at home, it's extremely hard to keep up the good energy. And nobody, and by the way, nobody wins. Nobody really wins by doing that. Like, why would we do that? You do it that way. So just continue to grow, guys. Continue
and
to grow.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
In the process. Let me share this real quick before we wrap up. I think we have Q&A. If you guys have questions and answers, or like if you guys have any questions, post them on the chat, okay? And but real quick, I think it was probably 2022 when I started with this word of the year thing, and I think it was 2022 when I picked have fun, like have fun again. Because I remember myself that I was not having fun in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the, all of the things that we go through. I decided to start laughing again and to have fun again. And I encourage you guys, it feels so different when you start laughing again and start, not taking life that serious, because it will happen. Algo va a pasar, nos vamos a morir y no nos vamos a llevar nada de esto, de todos los corajes y todo eso. So remember to have fun, enjoy the moment, laugh more. That is contagious, guys. It is contagious. Just like negativity is contagious, having fun and being positive, it's also contagious. So have fun in the process of building, something great and transforming your life.
Yeah, even though it's hard to have fun, but yes, have fun. Yes,
Am I the only one having fun?
No, what I'm saying
Make
is
it your
que,
word for 2026.
no, lo que yo sí le recomiendo a la gente, guys, es de que a veces, cuando el problema a veces sea tan grande, a veces o sea, I don't know, yo dependo mucho de Dios, guys, I depend a lot in God. God is my backup plan, okay? Muchos de ustedes son el backup plan para su familia, okay? para mí, mi backup, for me, my backup, it's God, no? And sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's good to laugh, like you could be going, you could be under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, to make things happen. And sometimes you just got to look up and just, thank God and like, I don't know, sometimes laugh, yeah. Sometimes laugh and go, Lord, I don't know why you're making me go through this, but it's all right.
And I know that some people don't agree with this, but it could be worse, guys. Like if
It
we
can
are
always
in
be
front
worse,
of a
yes.
computer right now, if our problems is just that a client canceled and a recruit quit, like you didn't hit your goals, like it's the minimum of what other people
Yes,
are going
yeah,
through.
yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people would trade your life in a flicker right now. Your problems, and your situation
Yes.
for their situation, because somebody's house just got blown up, and somebody's kid is in the hospital right now fighting cancer, and
Yes.
somebody's burying a loved one today, guys. So it could be worse. If you can't manage to stay positive with whatever you have, just think about what other people have, and trust me, it'll change, your mindset. You will feel grateful all of a sudden, thinking about all of the disastrous and the misery other people are going through out there. Just stay grateful, stay humble, stay aware and conscious that other people are going through way worse things. And when we become a
Yes, for
blessing,
real.
when we are blessed enough, we can bless more people. We can help more people financially. We can help more people in mentorship. We can help more people llevándoles comida, haciendo cosas para los demás. When we are blessed, make sure that you bless others, okay? So that's an advice that we give for you. And when you're blessing others, you are living a life with abundance. When you're letting things go, when you're making money flow and stuff like that, I'm not saying be irresponsible with your money. Be frugal, with your money. But whenever the situation allows, be abundant, with the blessings that you can give. Okay, so that's my wrap up for this call. And thank you guys, for joining us. We love you. We want to wish you a very happy new year. Whatever you're gonna do today, remember what we covered today. Forgive yourselves, let go, and start, like press like the reset button tonight.
Indeed. God bless, guys. You guys take care. Y we'll see you at the top. All right, guys?
Yay.
Yay. All right, guys. Everybody have a
Bye.
happy
Happy New Year.
2026. Yes. All right, guys. And you guys take care. All right, guys.
Bye.
Let's wrap it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be stopping in just a minute.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hasta la vista, babies. Yes.